Imagine a massive digital world, complete with its own app store, its own maps, its own email, all built by the biggest phone company on the planet. Now imagine it just disappeared. Today, we're talking about one of the most ambitious and maybe one of the most forgotten projects in mobile history, Nokia's OVI. The name itself tells you everything you need to know about their grand plan. OVI is Finnish for door. See, Nokia wasn't just building a bunch of random services. They were trying to build a single gateway, a door for their hundreds of millions of users to step through and access the entire internet. It was a huge, elegant idea.
All right, so let's set the scene. The year is 2007. Nokia is the undisputed king of mobile phones. I mean, they sell more phones than anyone, period. But even at the top, they could see the writing on the wall. The future wasn't just about the physical phone in your hand. It was about the software and services that ran on it.
And their answer to this future was OVI. They called it an umbrella brand, basically one single name to cover every internet service they were planning to build. This was Nokia's all-in bet, their big play to transform from a company that just made hardware into a true internet powerhouse. And let me tell you, this was no small side project. Nokia built an entire universe under that OVI brand. It was a whole ecosystem of services designed to make the Nokia experience essential, to lock you into their world. So let's break down what that universe actually looked like. Their ambition was crystal clear. OVI was built on 5 main pillars, and they were designed to cover pretty much every part of your digital life, from entertainment like games and music to absolute essentials like navigation and messaging. And some of these services were genuinely revolutionary. Take OVI Maps. It gave you free, voice-guided, turn-by-turn navigation anywhere in the world. Now, you have to remember, at that time, other companies were charging a lot of money for a service like that. This was a killer feature, for sure. And the scale was just huge. OVI Mail, for example, signed up over 5 million accounts in its very first year. This just goes to show Nokia wasn't just building stuff nobody wanted. They were getting their massive user base to actually sign up and use these services. But the real heart of this entire ecosystem, the one piece that was meant to tie everything together, was the OVI Store. It went live in 2009, and it was the central marketplace for this entire digital world.
And this is where the real fight began. With the OVI Store, Nokia was basically stepping into the ring to go head-to-head with the new giants of the app world, especially Apple.
And you could see a fundamental difference in how they approached it. Apple was all about building this tightly controlled, super integrated experience on iOS. Nokia's strategy was totally different. They wanted to tap into the hundreds of millions of people who already owned their Symbian and Series 40 phones and pull them all into one big software marketplace. And you know what? For a while, it seemed to be working. I mean, spectacularly. By early 2012, the OVI Store was handling a staggering 10 million downloads every single day. So this is a really important point. OVI wasn't some failed experiment that nobody used. It was a serious, top-tier player. In 2012, it was the 3rd largest mobile app store in the world, right behind Apple and Google. And that's what makes what happened next so shocking. So, if it was going so well, how did it all start to fall apart? Well, despite all that success, the door that Nokia had worked so hard to open was pretty suddenly beginning to close. In May 2011, Nokia dropped a bombshell. They announced they were killing the OVI brand entirely. The official reason they gave was to avoid brand confusion and bring everything under the main Nokia name. But for a company that had spent years and millions building this brand, it was a massive and really abrupt change in direction. And this timeline really shows you how fast everything just crumbled. The OVI brand was gone by 2012. Then the entire game changed. In 2014, Microsoft bought Nokia's phone division. And by 2015, the new owners had shut down almost everything that was once part of the OVI universe. So after all that work, all that money, and all those millions of users, what's actually left of Nokia's grand vision for an internet door? Well, the OVI universe was basically dismantled and its pieces scattered to the wind. The store's users got moved over to the Opera mobile store, OVI Mail was handed off to Yahoo and then later shut down. The main Nokia account just closed completely. The one major piece that survived was OVI Maps, which evolved into the powerful Here Maps platform that's still around today. So in the end, Nokia's big, ambitious door to the internet was slammed shut. The huge ecosystem they built was broken apart, becoming a casualty of changing strategies and one of the biggest corporate buyouts in the history of tech.
And that leaves us with this really fascinating question. Was Ovi a brilliant idea that was just a little too ahead of its time? Or was it a flawed strategy from the get-go, a hardware giant trying to fight a software war that it was just never truly equipped to win? It's a debate that still echoes through the history of the smartphone.